Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Chandra and I make videos about reading, writing, and all things books. Today's video is how I rate books on Goodreads. I was looking back through some of the books that I've read and some of the books that I've reviewed and kind of giving it a once over, and I realized that some of my reviews were not consistent. So based off of that, I decided to create my own rating system and look at how I think it makes sense for me to rate books. And in the future, as I move forward, I plan to rate the books and review the books based off of this system. Number 1, a full 5-star rating. The reason that I would give this rating plus a comment would be that I absolutely love the book and I have really strong feelings about it. If that's the case, I'm going to give it 5 stars and I'm also going to write a review. Number 2, I love the book, but it wasn't striking. I'll give it 5 stars, but I'm not going to leave a review on that. I don't have any real thoughts about it. I just absolutely love the book. Number 3, I think it's a really good book, and I'm going to leave a comment. If I think it's awesome, it's 4 stars and a comment. It's just a strong book, but it's not quite groundbreaking or like earth-shattering for me. And if I think it's just a good book, then I'll give it 4 stars. Number 5, I think it's an okay book, but I have thoughts or it has questionable values. 3 stars plus a comment. There's been some situations where I'm like, there's parts of the book that I really liked, or there's some content in the book that I really liked, but there's also something that's questionable about it. And this could be within the story structure, or it could also be within the actual values expressed by the characters, where I'm like, is that something that we have enough of maybe in the world? And all of that can play into the way it's done, because sometimes I think there are characters who are really truly awful people as characters, but the way that they're portrayed doesn't glorify the awfulness of it. It's just the story, if that makes sense, versus where it's really, they're awful, it's glorified, and we're supposed to feel like it's fine. I think that's the difference for me. Questionable values, I have thoughts, but the book is okay. 3 stars and a comment. I just think the book is okay. It's 3 stars. I'm not going to leave a comment. I don't have anything to say about it one way or another. It's just a good book. It's okay. I made it all the way through the book. There, that's a book that you've read. Check. 2 stars plus a comment. I think the book isn't good and there's something wrong with it. This could be a lot of different things. It could be like with the actual writing itself. It could be with the characters. It could be with the story. Like it really could just be anything. And that's the point of the comment. Like, why am I giving this book 2 stars? 2 stars? Read my review and find out, I think it's not just giving someone a more negative review and not explaining why. If I think the book isn't good, 2 stars. It's just not a good book. I don't have anything to say about it. It's just not good. And that's not, I feel like the other thing I should point out for each of these, if I've read a book and I'm like, I'm not the target audience of this, I will put that in my review. I will include that. But if a book's just like, I would like it if literally the book was written a different way, the characters were different, if it was just like, it's just not, I don't even know how to say, but it's like there's just nothing good to say about it. I couldn't even think of a way where it would be a good book. 2 stars. I think the book is a moral atrocity. If that's my initial thought when I read the book, it's going to get 1 star plus a comment, because I'm going to lay out exactly why I think it's a moral atrocity. And that, I have read books like that. I haven't always left comments on them in the past, and that's something that I do want to change, because I think if there's something really that reprehensible about a book, I should mention that and not just give a 1 star, because ultimately the point of reviews is to help other readers find books that meet their expectations or that they're going to enjoy reading. So if my comment doesn't say exactly why, then it's not helpful. The other reason that I would give a 1 star and not leave a comment is if I DNF'd it. Like, it was so bad that I couldn't even finish it. Then it's not for me to leave an actual review. I'm just going to give it a 1 star and not finish it. And that's something that I've struggled with, because I have had a habit in the past of not DNFing books. And as you can see in my previous video where I talk about how I have so many books on my currently reading list that at a certain point I have to just face the facts that I'm not going to finish a book. And like if a book doesn't, and this isn't even specific to genre, because I feel like I've gotten to a point where I really know what genres I enjoy reading, and I can read a wide breadth of genres. If I'm not able to finish a book, then it's maybe for me at this point in my reading career, I don't know what word you would call that, but like as I've read more and more books, if I get to the point where I DNF a book, there's usually something that I haven't been able to put words to that I'm not aware of yet, where I'm picking up on something that is flawed within the structure, and I don't necessarily have the words to say, this is why I DNF'd the book. And I'm aware enough at this point to actually say, sometimes I DNF a book, and it's not because I didn't enjoy it, if that makes sense. It's because I couldn't engage with it. And I feel like there's a difference between enjoying a book and engaging with it, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'd like to hear what your thoughts are, like when you actually give something a 1 star, because I feel like in order for me to write a comment, the book has to elicit a response from me. And the 1 star DNF is like, this book didn't engage me enough to get a response. Whereas there's nothing for me to react to within the book. And I think that's more so where the no comments come from, or the no reviews. I think for the most part, if I give something 1 star, it's going to be on my DNF shelf, and I'm really just not going to talk about it because I don't have that reaction to it. The comments are more so where there's at least enough that I can say about a book to express what I liked or disliked about it. But when I get down to like the real bottom of everything that I've read, and I'm like, I don't even have anything to say about this. Yeah. I also think though that 1 and 2 star books where I don't leave a comment are going to be much more rare for me, because usually something is going to pull some kind of response out of me. Now, there are also books that I do not leave a star rating on, and that's something that's a little bit more recent for me, because I'm thinking about how I feel about it. And I also want to engage in some kind of discussion before I determine how I evaluate the book. What that looks like for me sometimes is just 1, stepping away from the book and taking some time to think about it. 2, if it's a nonfiction book, actually putting into practice some of what the book says. Like if I'm not a subject matter expert, how can I take this information that's new information to me and then be like, this information is terrible, when I haven't done anything with it, or say this is the best information I've ever heard, when truly it's just that this is the first time I've ever been exposed to this information. So I'm evaluating that part right now, and I think this rating system for me will be redefined and I will update it, but for now I think this is the truest estimation of how I use the star system as I'm writing reviews and what I'm going to be adhering to in the future as I review books. So I'd love to hear your thoughts, how you rate books, and if you disagree or agree with any of these points, and yeah, all of that stuff. Let's start a conversation about this. I do want to talk about this. So you can make a video response, you can leave me a comment, just tag me in posts on social media. I'd love like all of it. Just do the things and let me know, and I will come talk to you about it. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.